Hello Clever Pickles, thank you for joining me for today's handwriting lesson, which is an easy one. It is the letter L. Let's get your pencil out. Make sure you're holding it properly. Make sure you're in your chair properly, sitting up straight, and that your book is ready to go. You might like to turn your book a little bit. Don't turn it too much. This will end up hurting your wrist. Now, remember we start with a warm up at the top of the page and you're going to do the long date. So as I am making up a date, you check the calendar and make sure you have the correct long date. So I'm going to say it is Wednesday because Wednesday is a funny thing to say and it's nice and long, so I'm going to get good practice out of it. Now, if you're holding your pencil too tight, your writing might look really dark and pressed like this. You are working your muscles way too hard if you do that. It doesn't come up quite as dark as what I can see there. Okay, the other alternative is that you might be not be pushing enough. So if I say it is the 2nd and I'm writing like this, if I hold my pencil too light, it means that I can't control it very well and I'm not necessarily stopping right where I want to and going past that bottom line there. So make sure it feels comfortable. Whatever you're doing to hold it, make sure it feels comfortable, and maybe check in with someone nearby and see if they think you're holding your pencil too tight or too loose. So I'm going to try and go back to my normal pencil grip so I can write the rest of my warm-up date, and hopefully you are around the same point as me so that we can move on to our first line of capitals today. And we're going to do L. So I have a feeling I said I when I started this video. Maybe I'm reading the wrong notes. Let's move on. The letter L is what we're doing today. So L is easy. We know how to do straight lines down, and that's what we're going to do today. We will start at this top dotted line here. We will come down to this bottom straight line, not lifting our pencil. We will then form the bottom part of the L, which is almost like a leg. So let's start. Top dotted line and straight line down, straight across. Now I need you to imagine this is like a rectangle here. I'm going to draw it actually so you could see. Imagine it's a rectangle, not a square. So we don't want our L to come all the way over like that. That is too big. So imagine it's one part of a rectangle, capital L. Straight line down, straight across. Make sure you're using these spacings in between that are about a finger space. If you need to use your finger, that's fine. If you can imagine the finger is there, that is even better, because then you can focus on shaping these letters instead of worrying about spaces. Okay, I've got my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only need 6, no more, no less. Let's move to a lowercase l, which is super easy because it's just the line. So let's go. Line, line, line. Don't rush too much or you'll end up with this, and you'll go above and below. Line and line. So you can see we've started at the top dotted line here and come down to the straight line. It's almost the same as a capital, but it's not. It's a lowercase. Let's use the letter L in the beginning of some words. Let's start with leg. Let's try L, E, G. Now remember, if your E and your G don't look perfect, that's fine. Focus on your L. The next word is late. Leave a space. Let's go late. And that's interesting because we have our L and our T, which have the same beginning line. T comes back with the cross. Don't forget this part. Often when we're practicing L's, we get so focused on doing those lines, we forget to come back and cross T's or dot I's. So let's test it now by writing the word light. L, I needs a dot up on those dotted lines. G, H has another straight line, and then T. Don't forget to cross your T. Excellent. Let's put L in the middle and at the end of some words. And we'll start with help. So help again has that same straight line, but it continues with a bump. And our P even has that straight line too, but it goes down into the ground section. It starts in the middle and goes down, whereas H starts in the sky and goes to the grass. Let's try the word pool. Again with our P, O's are in the grass, and our straight line for pool. All right, one more. We're going to try double L this time, and try not to get them too close to each other. T uses that line, E, L, L. So you don't need them far apart. They still have their own spot with a little gap in between them. Okay, now what we're going to do is draw the letter L into a picture. So let's start by drawing 6 L's first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I am going to grab 2 different green pencils because I would like to turn my L into a leaf. So I'm going to put a lovely shape around the outside here. So I've got light green and dark green. I'm going to do maybe a couple of different shapes so they're not all the same looking leaf. There's a bit of a holly leaf there, and maybe a round leaf. Maybe you might want to do autumn leaves and do different colors to me. And let's do one more. And I'm going to quickly color them in because remember, this last bit is just for a bit of fun, a little bit of practice, and it reminds us that the word leaf begins with the letter L and that we can use the letter L to create the word leaf. And I'm going to finish up with my last leaf. Now, if you haven't caught up to me, that's okay. You can pause the video, go back and practice some lines, and press play when you are ready. Thank you for joining me for practicing the letter L in our handwriting.